Welcome to the thrilling world of Tarzan. Today, we journey deep into the jungle, where the wild meets the unknown, and a young boy is raised far from civilization by a family of gorillas. Join me as we explore this extraordinary story of survival, love, and identity. Our story begins with a shipwreck off the coast of Africa, where a young couple and their infant son are stranded. With courage and hope, they build a new home high in the trees, unaware of the perilous creatures that share the jungle with them. But tragedy soon strikes, leaving their infant son orphaned. Rescued by a kind-hearted gorilla named Kala, the child is raised in the jungle as one of her own. This child, who will grow to be known as Tarzan, begins his life in the heart of the wild, unaware of his true origins. As Tarzan grows, he discovers that he is different from the other members of his gorilla family. While he's strong, agile, and brave, he begins to question who he truly is and where he comes from. These questions lead him on a journey to discover his identity and his place in the jungle. Will Tarzan find his true family? Will he choose to stay in the jungle or embrace the world of man? Stay with me as we dive into the epic story of Tarzan, where survival, love, and destiny collide in the heart of the wild. And now, let's begin the full story of Tarzan. Long ago, off the coast of Africa, a terrible storm wrecked a ship. A young couple and their infant son were among the survivors. Stranded in the dense jungle, they built a small treehouse for shelter. They lived peacefully, hoping one day they would be rescued. But danger was always lurking in the shadows. One day, a ferocious leopard named Sabor attacked their small family. Though the couple fought bravely, they were tragically killed. The infant was left alone in the treehouse, vulnerable to the dangers of the jungle. But fate had other plans for this child. A kind-hearted gorilla named Kala heard the baby's cries. Kala, mourning her own lost child, discovered the orphaned boy in the wreckage. She instantly felt a bond with him and decided to raise him as her own. Kala took the baby back to the gorilla tribe, despite the disapproval of Kerchak, the leader. The boy was given the name Tarzan, meaning white skin, in the gorilla language. Tarzan grew up in the jungle, loved and protected by Kala. As a young child, Tarzan struggled to fit in with the other gorillas. He was smaller, weaker, and didn't have the strength or instincts of the apes. But Kala always encouraged him, telling him that he was special. Tarzan observed the animals around him, learning how to survive. He slowly began to adapt to the wild. By the time Tarzan became a young boy, he had learned to swing through the trees as swiftly as any gorilla. He developed his own method of navigating the jungle, using his intelligence and agility. Yet, despite his abilities, Tarzan still felt different. He noticed his hairless skin and strange features. He couldn't shake the feeling that he didn't quite belong. One day, while playing in the jungle, Tarzan encountered Sabor, the leopard who had killed his parents. Fear gripped him, but something stirred inside Tarzan. He cleverly used the environment to escape Sabor's claws, proving his courage. This encounter awakened something in Tarzan, pushing him to become stronger. He knew he had to prove himself to the tribe. Determined to gain Kerchak's approval, Tarzan began to train harder than ever before. He practiced fighting, swinging through the trees, and mimicking the behaviors of the gorillas. Tarzan soon became stronger and faster, using his human intelligence to outwit the jungle's dangers. He wanted to be accepted by Kerchak as a true member of the tribe, but Kerchak still saw him as an outsider. Despite Kerchak's distance, Kala remained a constant source of love and support for Tarzan. She often reminded him that family isn't just about being the same. It's about love and loyalty. Tarzan took these words to heart. He loved his family and the jungle, even if he was different. But deep down, he longed to understand who he really was. Years passed, and Tarzan grew into a strong, capable young man. He had become a true master of the jungle, swinging effortlessly from vine to vine. Tarzan felt at home in the wild, but the questions about his origins still lingered. Why was he so different from the gorillas? What was his place in the world? The jungle was his home, but he felt there was something more out there. Everything changed one fateful day when Tarzan heard a strange noise in the jungle. Curious, he followed the sound and stumbled upon a group of humans. He had never seen anyone like them before, creatures that looked like him. Among them was a young woman named Jane, and from the moment Tarzan laid eyes on her, he was fascinated. For the first time, Tarzan felt a connection to something beyond the jungle. Jane was equally amazed by Tarzan. She had come to Africa with her father, Professor Porter, to study gorillas. But meeting Tarzan, a man who lived among the apes, was something she could have never imagined. Tarzan and Jane quickly began to communicate through gestures and sounds. Jane taught Tarzan about the human world, while Tarzan showed Jane the wonders of the jungle. Their bond grew stronger with each passing day. As Tarzan spent more time with Jane and her group, he began to learn more about himself. He discovered the truth about his parents and how he came to live in the jungle. Tarzan was torn between the two worlds, the world of the humans, where he finally found others like him, and the world of the jungle, where he had been raised and belonged. The decision weighed heavily on him. Meanwhile, Jane's group was accompanied by a man named Clayton, who had darker motives. Clayton wasn't interested in studying gorillas. He wanted to capture them and sell them for profit. Tarzan, unaware of Clayton's true intentions, trusted him at first. Clayton manipulated Tarzan, using him to lead them to the gorilla tribe. But Tarzan's instincts warned him that something was wrong. As Tarzan led Jane, Professor Porter, and Clayton deeper into the jungle, he grew closer to Jane. He had never felt anything like this before. Jane showed Tarzan compassion, curiosity, and kindness, things he had never experienced from anyone outside his gorilla family. Tarzan was conflicted. He wanted to be with Jane, but he couldn't abandon the jungle and his family. One day, Clayton's true intentions were revealed when he tried to capture the gorillas. Tarzan felt betrayed, realizing that he had put his family in danger. Enraged, he fought back, determined to protect his tribe. He led an attack against Clayton and his men, using his knowledge of the jungle to outsmart them. Tarzan's bravery inspired the gorillas, including Kerchak. During the battle, Kerchak was fatally wounded while protecting the tribe. Before he died, he finally acknowledged Tarzan as his son and the true leader of the gorillas. This moment meant everything to Tarzan, but it also marked a turning point. He now had to step up and take responsibility as the leader of the tribe. It was a bittersweet victory, filled with both sorrow and pride. With Clayton defeated and the gorillas safe, Tarzan had to make a difficult decision. Jane and her father were preparing to return to England. They asked Tarzan to come with them, offering him the chance to live in the human world. Tarzan was torn between his love for Jane and his loyalty to the jungle. He knew that no matter what he chose, his life would never be the same. In the end, Jane decided to stay with Tarzan in the jungle. She had fallen in love with both Tarzan and the wild beauty of the jungle. Her father, too, chose to stay, eager to continue studying the gorillas. Together, they built a new life, bridging the gap between the human world and the world of the jungle. Tarzan had finally found peace, knowing that he belonged to both worlds. With Jane by his side, Tarzan embraced his role as the leader of the gorillas. He no longer questioned his identity. He knew that he was both man and beast, a unique blend of the two worlds. Tarzan had found love, family, and purpose in the jungle, and he knew that his journey was only just beginning. Together, Tarzan and Jane faced the adventures of the jungle, side by side. The jungle, with all its dangers and wonders, was now home to both Tarzan and Jane. They lived in harmony with the animals, protecting the balance of nature. Tarzan was no longer just a man raised by gorillas. He was a bridge between two worlds. His story became a legend in the jungle, inspiring all who heard it. And so, Tarzan's legacy lived on, deep in the heart of the wild.
Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.